Greetings. My name is Diallo, Sekou, and what I'm about to do is I'm about to read something from Dr. Chancellor Williams' chapter out of the book called The Destruction of Black Civilization. It's a chapter in here that's very important to me, which I see is very relevant to the conditions of our people today. It's a chapter on page 151. It's called How Slavery Came to be Confined to Blacks Alone. Right here, page 151. I'm going to read this, and I give my opinion in between. I'm not going to read the entire chapter. I'm going to read a couple of paragraphs, and then I'm just going to build on it a little bit. And I just want you to pay attention, or you can fast forward until we get to the end, and we build on a little bit more. In the latter part of the 13th century, David, king of Makuria, seeing no other way to forestall Arab occupation of his country, stepped up his raids in Upper Egypt. The raids were easier to carry out because of the chaos that followed the triumphs of Mamelukes in Egypt. But in 1272, the blacks, and what I have attached as a pattern of their own self-destruction, made the first major step to the end. The usual impatience of heirs to the throne soon enough found full expression in Shakundu. This means there was an heir to the throne who couldn't wait his turn because of his selfishness. The king's nephew, he hastened to the Sultan of Egypt to secure an alliance and plan an invasion. This guy planned an invasion under his king's heirship, a rulership of his own country that would assure his ascendancy to the throne. The Sultan had every reason to grasp this wonderful opportunity, handed to him through the blacks themselves. Not only would he be able to even scores with them, but he would also be able to create conditions for Mameluke hegemony over their land. I'm sorry, I can't, that word, Hegemony. Moreover, the African king had not only been raiding Egypt with impunity, but he had denounced the Treaty of 652. He refused to pay back, B-A-Q-T. Sultan Barbers, therefore, did not hesitate. He organized a strong invading expedition of Shakundu and his head entered into black land. The struggle was long and bitter, as the Sultan's strategy in using his black army, along with Shakundu's own followers, made it appear to be a civil war between blacks. In the end, Sultan won through the black heir to the throne, and followed along and allowed him to be crowned king as his protege. So what you just heard is somebody sold out his own family, his own community, destroyed lives so that he can have a seat for himself, for his ego. The dismemberment of the black kingdoms in the Sudan had begun. This one guy started it by selling out his people. Now a rival tribute was exacted and almost doubled without pretense of being an agreement of mutual exchange. The tribute exacted was harsh, and the blacks were promised nothing. The kingdom was then divided into two parts, the Sultan taking the northern region of his personal fief. Muslims' rule now extended over Egypt, and into the Sudan. The pattern was set that was to continue into our times and probably beyond. The Arabs in the northern Sudan, while blacks were pressured into smaller and smaller areas in southern Sudan. And when I come back with Moorish Jury, I continue this chapter because this chapter is powerful. It shows you the condition, one of the major issues we have in our community today. This was in the 11th century in Egypt. And I read it because I wanted people to hear what the author wrote, how he did his historical information and research and brought it to us in a book called The Destruction of Black Civilization. The Moorish Jury in it, whether regardless he called us black or Moors, you understand who you are in this story, who your descendants and your ancestors were in this story, the conditions and the egoism inside of this to sell out our community, even then, to sell out nations. And it's the same thing today. We are exploited financially and politically because we have no unity. We are not unified financially. We don't have a central finance center that Dr. Amos Wilson talks about in his book. What is this book called? The Blueprint of Black Power. This is another book you should have. The Blueprint of Black Power. A moral, political, and economic imperative for the 21st century. See this key word, imperative? That means it's applicable. You can apply what's in this book. Summit of the Moors, January 12th through the 11th, is going up. This is not a vendorship. This is a summit. This is business. This is where we will come and we will put together 25 years worth of information. A 25-year agenda that will propel us in the future, securing economic power. But we have to do it under the pretense of being a family. Okay, the first principle is love. Come with your heart first, family. Peace.